Welcome back to The Lead. I'm Jake Tapper. Frankly, it was a terrible night for the establishment in New Hampshire. Hillary Clinton's campaign stunned, again, that an opponent they had initially written off is showing huge strength. And the Republican Party still waiting for a consensus candidate to emerge from the establishment as Donald Trump wins New Hampshire by the biggest margin in 16 years. Joining me now to talk about yesterday's results and the path forward, CNN's political commentators Patty Sleaze-Doyle and Kevin Madden. First off, guys, I want to play a little sound from Jamie Gangel. She just interviewed the surprise second-place finisher in last night's contest, John Kasich, governor of Ohio. Here's what he said, finding a target on his back after his big night.
South Carolina, some of these other states, the attack ads are already on the air. Are you going to hit back?
Well, I'm not going to sit there and be a marshmallow or some kind of a pin cushion. People just pound me. I mean, where I come from, the blue-collar town that I come from, if you came in and beat our football team, we just broke all the windows on your bus. I mean, that's just a joke, by the way. But, I mean, the fact is, I'm not going to just sit there and let somebody pound on me. But, and I can't predict exactly what the future is, but I believe that this message of we're Americans before we're Republicans and Democrats, these problems that we have can be solved, that we can get the shine back in America, leave no one behind. I just think these are very important messages, more than me spending my time being negative about somebody else.
Kevin.
Yeah.
South Carolina politics is a rough thing. They don't play pretty down there. Is what Kasich is selling is anyone going to buy it down there? Can you be sunny and optimistic and talk about bringing people together?
He can, but he's going to have to really continue to be ready to draw contrasts at a moment's notice with his opponents. The big risk for John Kasich is that on Monday night, a lot of people went to bed not knowing who John Kasich was, and they woke up on Tuesday morning, knowing a little bit more about him because of his win here in New Hampshire. And the risk is that so many of his opponents are going to try and define John Kasich in the eyes of South Carolina voters or any of these other states before he will, and the race is now on. And anytime they try to introduce that negative information, he's going to have to fight back with reckless abandon. And so when he told the story there about his McKees Rocks roots, and there was a lot of glass on the ground, ideally, if he comes out with a much better position down in South Carolina, there will still be a lot of glass on the ground because he'll have fought back.
Patty, as Hillary Clinton's campaign manager in 2008, this must be a familiar feeling for you, what's going on right now, although this time she won Iowa and lost New Hampshire. We're hearing talk from the Clinton campaign about the need to take stock, reassess, figure out what's going on next. Former Obama advisor David Axelrod tweeted after these stories started coming out, when the exact same problems crop up in separate campaigns with different staff, at what point do the principals say, hey, maybe it's us? A tough commentary from David Axelrod, basically saying, hey, the problem isn't the staff, the problem might be the Clintons. Is that fair?
Look, I think they definitely had a very hard night last night. It was a rough night. She lost across the board. She lost women. She lost blue-collar workers. She lost young people.
Just for 1 second, she lost women.
Yeah.
Think about that. She lost women.
Yeah. So, of course, there's going to be taking stock. Of course, there's going to be reassessing. If I were the Clinton campaign, I'd be worried about two things right now. Bernie Sanders' appeal to young voters, because if he can appeal to young women voters, he can appeal to young Hispanic voters and young African-American voters. And I'd be mostly concerned about his ability to raise money. Apparently he raised $5 million yesterday, or today. And that's a concern.
Kevin, Marco Rubio gave a very unusual speech last night, basically blaming himself for the fifth-place finish, talking about his panned performance at the debate. I guess the big question is, should he have done that Sunday morning instead of Tuesday night? Could it have made a difference?
Yeah, I think the most important thing that he could have done last night, ideally, it's the period at the end of the sentence, that now he'll put that in his past and start to move on. I think the problem that they had in that intervening 48 hours after the debate was that they offered a new version of the same mistake that they made during the debate, that he made during the debate. And that caused a sort of negative information flow with voters, and it just caused the media to sort of obsess over it. And this has to be his exclamation point now. All right? He has to end put this in his rearview mirror and really move forward and start to talk more about this race as a contest for the future. Marco Rubio does his best as a candidate when he is putting himself forward to voters as the best way to draw a contrast with the past, whether it's the 8 years of the Obama administration or having somebody like Hillary Clinton or Jeb Bush, who's been associated with the last 25 years in American politics. So I think that, let's hope that, I think if you're a Marco Rubio supporter right now, you're hoping that that was the last we've heard of him talking about the debate on Saturday night and start fresh.
Kevin Madden, Patty Solis Doyle, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.